Hello and welcome to Hummel Park, the best disc golf course in Omaha, in my opinion. It's best known for its crazy elevation, its nasty rough, as well as what's called getting hummeled, or when your disc rolls away with that nasty elevation. Starting off here on hole 1, we have a 348-foot par 3. Normally this was a par 4, but it's just at the bottom of this huge set of stairs. You can see right here behind the tree, and so should be a gettable par 3. I'm throwing a Buzz OS for the glide to get down to the bottom, as well as the overstability to get around that corner. And you can see I'm about 20 feet away here. What you can't see in this picture is that there is a parking lot to the left behind this tree, and there's some cars that were kind of jacking around and, well, maybe a little bit nervous, but it just slipped in over the rim for the birdie. All right, got to head up this staircase over the road to hole number 2. Hole number 2 is a par 4, 417 feet, and there's no really other hole I've ever played just like this, where you start by throwing way uphill, and then it comes way back down, even further down than where the tee starts out. So you can see I'm just going to go with a putter off of the tee to kind of get me in position, but it does leak a little bit to the left. So I found myself in this rough that Hummel is known for. Some stingy nettles in some places and some poison ivy in other places, so you got to be a little bit careful. But I do have a little flex forehand kind of through a small gap, and it barely works out. I think it tickles some leaves on the way down, and then you can see it does sit there right at the end against those logs, so I can hopefully tap this in for a birdie, and I do. I'm lucky to get out of there with the birdie, but starting 2 under at Hummel is a dream start. I will take it. Hole 3, 270 feet. Got some OB road on the left side here. And there's a steep cliff you can't really see on the right side, but the basket's guarded by those 5 guardian trees. I'm going with an understable putter, and I just shanked it off the tee, but luckily you can see in the bottom of your screen there, it does leak back in bounds. So kind of a close call. Got to just lay up here for my par. But that's way better than going out of bounds. So again, I will take it. All right, and then one thing that's kind of tricky about Hummel for new players who have never played here before is kind of getting around. So from hole 3 to hole 4, you got to go out to the entrance, then kind of back in on one of these walking trails to find the tee pad for hole 4. Hole 4 is a 490-foot par 4. Again, there's some different tee placements here to make it a 3 or 4, sometimes even a 5. But since this one is across the creek, it is going to be a par 4 today. All right, I'm just going with a rock mid-range, sort of a layup play right before the creek, so I can sort of flex one over the creek. I got a little pinched off on the left side, but we'll go again with that Buzz OS. And I was really happy with this shot. It flexed out nicely. It looks a little bit further than it is. It's actually only about 15 feet away from the basket. So again, another birdie. 3 down through 4 here at Hummel is a dream start. I will absolutely go with this. To hole 5 we go now. 358-foot par 3. This one's just a little bit out of my range. You got OB Creek on or over it to the left side in the road. You can't quite see it, but it is on the right. So ideally you can go with a big old forehand. I don't have that big of a forehand, and I am out of bounds. I tried to flex it too much, and I ended up in the creek. Fish it out there, and then should just be a little chipper to the hole from this far. And you can see, yep, and up just a little bit to the right. That should be a tap in for my bogey. All right, moving on to hole 6. Hole 6, one of the shorter holes out here, but there's some real tight, a tight gap you gotta get. And so yeah, only 273 feet, par 3. But then there's this ditch right in front of the basket that you gotta try to avoid. See if my forehand's any better than the last hole. I do get around the trees, but I hyzer out just a little bit early right into that ditch. You can see that I'm almost eye level with the top of the ditch there, and so even though I'm outside the circle, no real room to jump on this jump putt. I'm going to give it my best go anyway. Oh, I hit the left side chains. Pretty close. So again, I'll have to tap in for a par there, and we will head on to hole 7. Still 2 down for the round, not bad. All right, hole 7 kind of to me feels like the longest hole. I don't know if it is though today. It might be in this layout today, but 445 feet, par 4. kind of start by throwing down the hill, and then there's this long flat portion through a bunch of these trees, and then it goes down again to the creek, and the hole sits kind of on this little peninsula that sticks out into kind of right around the creek's edge there. So this shot's just got to miss the trees and get down as far as you can. I got further than I usually do on this hole. I played in a tournament here the other day and got a little bit further than this, but I will take this. I'm in jump putting range for that second shot. I left it a little bit short though, so I still have to make about a 20-25 footer for the birdie. But again, it's super easy to hit one of those trees early and not take a birdie on this hole, but if you can get through clean, it's usually a pretty easy birdie. All right, we're going to be crossing the creek now, heading up to hole 8, and we're going to be heading uphill for the last two holes on the front 9, hole 8 and hole 9. And this is super steep uphill for hole 8. Hole 8's a 311-foot par 4, so it doesn't sound too far, but you got to kind of have a little placement shot about here, and then it is super uphill. The footage, it looks a little bit uphill there, but it is massively uphill. So again, the play for me, can't really get there in 2, so I'm just going to lay this up with a little forehand mid-range. That should be perfect. And then let's see if I can get up there. Oh, I do not throw it high enough. There it is. This is called getting hummeled when your disc rolls down like that on that steep elevation. So I'm nowhere near the basket. I'm going to have to throw my third shot here. Hopefully I can hit these upright so you can see those two trees with the basket in between it. Ooh, just missed it. But it lands safe right by the basket. That'll be a tap-in par. So again, with only just over 300 feet, that's one you want to take a birdie on, but got to settle for the par there. And we are 3 down through 8, so still pretty good. Let's see if we can maybe do something here on hole 9. Hole 9 again is very much uphill, 187 feet par 3. That said, I've never got a 2 on this hole. It has kind of a pretty big dogleg left to it. And even though it's less than 200 feet, it again is just so far uphill, it's hard to get as left as you need. I hug the trees as well as I can there, and then you just got to get a little bit lucky. I think I hit a tree though, and it's kind of kept me outside circle 2. And the jump putt sails on me a little bit to the left, so I have to clean that up for the par. All right, that is the front 9 at Hummel Park. So we are sitting 3 down. Hey guys, make sure you go over and check out the back 9, and we'll see you over there.